Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Yan Honglin with Steve Hatherley in the studio. Hi, Steve.
Hello to you. Thanks for having me back.
Always a pleasure doing Takeaway Chinese with you. I've been doing Takeaway Chinese for a really long time and have had different partners, but you hold a fresh perspective in learning the language because you've been here around a year and you're a fast learner as well.
Well,
I appreciate that.
I'm starting to slowly pick up things, but a little later, I want to practice a new sentence that I learned with you, and I want to ask about help for pronunciation, too.
Oh, I'd love to help. In the meantime, I was kind of wondering, because you've been to many places, you've learned many different languages, local culture, and have you ever been to Central Asia?
I've been to the east side of Asia, obviously, and the south part of Asia, but I've never been to the central part of Asia before, or Europe for that matter.
I find it an exotic place because when I was a little girl, I heard about the concept of Silk Road. Silk Road, back then I thought it's a road decorated by beautiful silk. Until I was told it's a road doing the trade. And the goods are mostly silk related from the China end, selling to the outside of the country. And of course, tea and other type of goods trading back from outside of China to the country is also through that road.
And that goes back hundreds of years, right?
Yes, hundreds and thousands of years. And that is when I find that part of the world quite interesting because it's kind of like a place with mixed cultures. You get to be exposed to the then very prosperous and very advanced Chinese culture, and there are the Europe culture, and they collide in the Central Asia area, and I find it fun and fascinating.
Why do you find that fascinating?
Because the collision of different cultures and the mixture of different cultures generating new things. And also evolve to definitely something that has never been there before. And also, you get to see different cultures in that area as well. So the diversity is also quite interesting.
I find that if you are not from a particular place, anything can feel exotic, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't grow up with it, if you haven't had an opportunity to spend time with it, albeit a food or a language or people or what have you, or inside a country or a city, then yeah, it can feel exotic. And for me, that's one of the romantic feelings that I love about the world is that, you know, being from Nova Scotia in Canada, which is a relatively small place, with limited opportunities to travel when I was young. Let me rephrase that. I had a lot of opportunities to travel, but just not through various parts of the world. But when I got older and then I moved, then yeah, I know that feeling of exotic, and I know that feeling of experiencing cultures and languages and foods for the first time. And it's a fun feeling, isn't it? And it's an exciting feeling, and it makes the planet feel both huge and tiny at the same time, right?
Yes. And in the meantime, do you know how to say Central Asia in Chinese?
I do not.
It's actually easy because central would be 中间 in the middle, or central 中.
中.
And 亚洲 Asia, 亚.
Yeah.
So 中亚, that's Central Asia.
中亚.
Yes. And you've also got 东亚, Eastern Asia.
Okay.
东
亚.
南亚.
南亚.
That'll be...
Oh, south?
Yes.
Because, do you know why I know that?
How?
Because I went to the Beijing South Railway Station recently. And when you go there, even though the signs are written in English, it said Beijing Nan. So I knew I was at the Beijing South Railway Station, and so when it said Beijing Nan, I said, oh, Nan equals south.
Yes, and also 东南亚.
东南亚.
Yes, that's southeast.
Oh, southeast.
So it's quite direct when it comes to the geology terms of different places or different areas, regions in Asia.
Have you visited that part of the world extensively for a
No, I really want to. I want to go and check out. And being a part that is on the other end of the Silk Road, definitely it has its charm. But in today's world, in a world when we say the world is flat, when we say the entire earth is just a village, we get to communicate with each other so easily. China and Central Asia have even a closer relationship because Central Asian countries, many of the Central Asian countries are bordering China, bordering, for instance, Xinjiang, Uyghur Autonomous Region, meaning that the communication and cooperation can be extensively carried out. And also the communication among these two parts would trigger more interesting projects. We can learn from each other, we can help each other, and that is why the idea of further cooperating with our neighboring countries in Central Asia is so important for China.
Yeah, you're right. And this is something that I didn't realize before I moved to China. You know, when you move to a country, you start paying attention to the world map in a little bit more detail than you did before. So, of course, everybody in the world knows that China is a huge country, but I didn't realize that on the western borders of China, you know, it was touching Tajikistan or Kyrgyzstan or Kazakhstan, or help me out. There's the other, I think there's two more.
Bhutan?
There's Bhutan, yeah, but there's also Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Yes.
Right? That are bordering China. And yeah, you're right. It borders Nepal, it borders India. And I didn't realize the border of China touched all of those different countries. So what you said before about China having a relationship there, I mean, it obviously makes sense that those relationships exist.
And for today, we are going to learn about the fascinating culture and history in those places, the stories that we share together between China and the Central Asia countries, and probably some fun Chinese you can take away.
Sounds good. We're going outside of China to practice our Chinese today.
A little, yes. So for those of you who are interested in Chinese culture and want to get a grip on the Chinese language, this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you'll soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. The first Chinese I really like to share is 神秘.
神秘.
Mysterious. 神秘.
神秘.
We use mysterious to describe that part of the world quite much because of the Silk Road, because of the ancient stories related to Central Asia, and 神秘 is mysterious. 神秘.
神秘. So how can we make a sentence there? That place is so mysterious.
You can say that. You can say 中亚很神秘.
中亚很神秘.
Yes, Central Asia is mysterious. You can also say 这是一个古老而神秘的国度. This is an ancient and also mysterious country.
I think I'll stick with 中亚很神秘. That's a little bit shorter.
I was trying to teach you 古老 as well.
You lost me at 古老.
古老 means ancient.
古老.
Yes, 老 means with older age or with years. 古代 would be ancient. So 古老, it's an ancient with a long history kind of place. And besides 神秘 and 古老, we can also use 奇幻 to describe that part of the world. 奇幻.
奇幻.
奇幻 means surreal.
Surreal.
So 奇 carries the meaning of 神奇, magical, and 幻觉 幻 means illusion, but in a good way. So 奇幻 together, it's fantastical, it's surreal, it's something very nice. And 奇幻 has to be both surreal and fantastical. So with a certain sense of fantasy, of old stories or legendary stories
I
in the
see.
past kind of feeling.
I gotcha.
Attached to it. Yeah, so 奇幻.
What about something that feels distant or far away? Because oftentimes when we talk about exotic places or exotic lands, they are distant and they are far away.
Yes, the word for it would be 遥远.
Yao Yuan.
Yes, both 遥 and 远 carries the meaning of distant. When you're using 遥远, it has to be really far away.
Okay, you know what I was going to ask you, right? Like if you're talking about if you live on the west side of Beijing and you invite your friend, oh, let's go to Chaoyang for dinner, then can your friend say, no, Yao Yuan?
You can, but you're exaggerating.
I understand. That's
Yeah.
good to know, though. So you can be a little sarcastic with your language with this particular word.
Yes. 太遥远了, it's too far away. But generally speaking, if you're using 遥远, you have to at least talk about, I don't know, Canada.
Yeah. Right.
I think I've shared about this. For thousands of years, the network of routes known as the Silk Road contributed to the exchange of goods and ideas among diverse cultures. And do you know how to say Silk Road?
Silk Road. I think I heard this before. It's 4 syllables. Is 4 characters?
Yes, it is 4 colors.
Xi Chu something something.
It is 4 characters, and it is 丝绸之路.
丝绸之路.
丝 is silk.
Okay.
And when we say silk, we think also about the thread, not only the fabric, right? And the 绸 is definitely just the fabric. So 丝绸 together would be the material silk.
Yep, got it. 丝绸.
And 之 is ancient apostrophe S. We know nowadays apostrophe S would be de. And in ancient Chinese, there is this character 之 serving that function. Which is why nowadays a lot of set phrases, many idioms, and some really formal way of saying things would also include the Chinese character 之.
Oh, so road is not 之路.
Road is 路.
Lu.
Yes.
But
and
之路 is not road.
no.
Okay.
之 is the functional character.
Got it.
So 职工之家, for instance, 职工 is employee, 家 is home. So the home of the employees. Employees home. So apostrophe S or of. But it's, again, a term that you can definitely use in these days because it's already a set term. But do not try to create your own term with the character 之. You most definitely would get it wrong.
Oh, okay. Even in modern Chinese, that must be very commonly used because in English you can say the house of my friend, right? But nobody talks like that. It sounds weird. So you'd say my friend's house.
It's not about that. It's more about you can replace almost all the places when you use de with 之. Yet it would be weird because 之 is an ancient time character. So it's not about the structure or the order of the words put together. It's more about the character, precisely the character 之.
So 之 is not commonly used anymore. It's been replaced by de.
It is commonly used, but only in set phrases, not in sentences that you can use lightheartedly or easily.
I see.
So 丝绸之路 would be the Silk Road.
丝绸之路.
Yes. Well, it is neither an actual road nor a single route. The term instead refers to a network of routes from when the Han Dynasty of China opened trade in 130 BC.
Oh,
thousands of years ago.
When I said I thought it was hundreds of years ago, around, I don't know, maybe around the 1300s, I thought. Oh, it goes back way before that time.
Way back. And an abundance of goods traveled along the Silk Road. Merchants carried silk from China to Europe, and other favorite commodities from Asia included jade, yu, and other precious stones, porcelain, 瓷,
紫,
tea, 茶,
茶.
Yes, and spices. So
Spices. How do you say spices?
香料.
香料.
香料 I would assume would be spices or 调料. 调料 is more like condiments because you can use spices in not only cooking but also other function like in a perfume bag, something like that.
Okay.
And in exchange, horses, glassware, textiles, and manufactured goods traveled eastward. So 丝绸之路, a very romantic route network with a long history and has been serving people along the way for quite a long time.
I mean, if you can imagine, yeah, I was wrong about the timeline. I thought it was later on the planet that the Silk Road actually started. But if you can imagine at that time, the exchanges that were taking place, because it wouldn't have just been silk and spices and other things. This is thousands of kilometers long, right? So you would have been exchanging cultures and ideas and language, maybe not on purpose, but at least inadvertently. There would have been a lot more being exchanged than the simple goods, I think.
I think it's hard to overstate the importance of the Silk Road on history. Religion and ideas spread along the Silk Road just as fluidly as goods. Towns along the route grew into multicultural cities, and exchange of information gave rise to new technologies and innovations that would change the world. And since the trade is between China and Europe, the countries alongside the Silk Road, I'm talking about the Central Asian countries, have definitely also benefited quite a lot from the Silk Road. Even till today, the Silk Road, or the Belt and Road, the Maritime Silk Road and the Economic Belt, the whole idea is still serving people along the way, helping people know each other better, cooperating and exchange ideas and start a project together, do research together, support each other in different ways.
Yeah, because it was like this natural path or corridor or lane or whatever you want to call it that linked China to so many other parts of the world, and that's what allowed that exchange to take place.
In 2023, China and Central Asia hold a summit together. They left a lot of different results, different memorandum of understanding, different cooperating plans, different projects that they plan to work on together. I would love to talk about those in Chinese, but I find the level of Chinese language a bit too hard regarding agricultural research and technology advancements, cooperation projects.
Yeah.
So instead, let's talk a little about the goods and exotic items introduced to China through the western regions along the Silk Road.
Teach us.
Do you know one of my favorite fruits is introduced to China along the Silk Road, and that is grapes?
Oh, introduced to China.
To China.
Uh-huh.
And grapes in Chinese is 葡萄.
葡萄.
Yes, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is easy.
It is easy, yet if you are able to say this tongue twister, to repeat this tongue twister in Chinese, you would be a master.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 吃葡萄不吐葡萄皮儿，不吃葡萄倒吐葡萄皮儿. You can't. Okay, so 葡萄
I didn't even try because my brain just immediately said no.
Your brain knows when to say no.
葡萄, grapes. I'm still processing that one.
Okay, so 吃 means to eat. 葡萄 we know is grapes.
Eat grapes. 吃葡萄.
不吐.
不吐.
Yes. 不 means to not to do something. And 吐 means to spit.
Oh.
And the 葡萄 again, it's grape.
Yeah.
And 皮 is the skin, the grape skin.
Okay.
So 吃葡萄不吐葡萄皮, eat grapes without spitting out the skins.
Okay, let me try. I'm going to go slow one time, then I'll try to speed up. 吃葡萄不吐葡萄皮.
Yes, you're good. 不吃葡萄倒吐葡萄皮.
Wait, is that the next part?
Yes.
No, I'm not finished with that. Was slowly. Okay, let me try again. A little faster. 吃葡萄不吐葡萄皮.
That is the T and P sound in Chinese.
Yeah.
That's been practiced with this tongue twister.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that first part's not tough. If that were the end, I would say that were easy, but it keeps going, and then it's really hard.
And 不吃葡萄倒吐葡萄皮 basically means don't eat grapes yet spit out the skin, which makes no sense. But I think tongue twisters don't make any sense. It's just to practice the flexibility of your tongue and lips and, the combination.
Do you not eat the grape skins?
I don't. Do you?
Sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people think I'm
Being
weird.
lazy or
Well,
just...
yeah. Sometimes I'm just, If the grapes are seedless, then I'll just eat the whole grape.
Well, we know grapes. I think you would also call them grapes, but there are the kind of grapes with really, really thin skins and it's really hard to peel them. Those grapes I would eat.
Or the ones with thicker skin, you put the whole grape in your mouth and then pop the inside out and then spit out the skin.
Yes,
you can
that's
do that
really
too.
good too. Yes. So grape or grapes,
葡萄.
葡萄. Yes, 葡萄. And if you take a look at the Chinese characters of 葡萄, the outside of 葡萄, or the characters are quite similar to each other. There's only just tiny one part in the middle of the character that look different from each other. The rest part look pretty the same.
Okay.
And another one is pomegranate.
Oh, how do you say pomegranate?
石榴.
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 One thing about this word is that 石榴, the second character in 石榴 is the light tone.
石榴.
Yes, so is 葡萄.
葡萄.
Yes, so instead of the 1, 2, 3, 4 tone, it's the light tone.
葡萄. 石榴.
And 核桃.
核桃.
核桃 is walnut.
Walnuts.
Yeah, 核桃.
核桃.
I used to stay in Xinjiang for over a month for a business trip, and I visited the hometown of 核桃.
Oh, really? The hometown of walnuts?
Yes, walnuts was introduced to Xinjiang and then rooted there, and that county got really prosperous in the walnut industry. They grow different types of walnuts. They process the walnuts into walnut milk. Is that if walnut juice, but it's
called
white.
walnut. Yeah, right.
Yes, that's why it's called walnut milk in
Right,
Chinese.
yeah.
We say 核桃奶.
核桃奶.
Yes, 奶 is milk, so it's called walnut milk in Chinese. And they process walnuts in different ways. You know, generally the walnuts are consumed when they're dried, but the fresh ones are also very tasty.
Do they taste different?
They taste sweet.
Oh,
a
really?
little sense of sweetness and freshness. Really tasty. 核桃.
I'm not really a fan of walnuts, but I've never had the super fresh ones before.
You should try it. It's really different in a good way. And there's also sesame.
Okay.
芝麻.
芝麻. Jima.
芝麻.
Sesame.
Yes.
That was also introduced to China during the old Silk Road days.
Yes.
Ah.
And another one I personally find very beautiful would be carpets. 地毯.
地毯.
Again, when I was traveling in Xinjiang, the carpets there are beautiful, the patterns, and you definitely get to feel the exotic flavor of the carpets. I would assume some of the patterns are introduced to Xinjiang from Central Asian countries. The way that the lines collide with each other, the
designs.
coloring, the matching, it's beautiful.
Those types of carpets, if you want to buy them in Canada, I'm guessing they're imported. They can be very, 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 very expensive.
Yes, and I think many of those are handmade. That's also contribute to the price tag.
Yes, and the size. Some of them can be quite small, but some of them can be absolutely huge, right? The rugs, and those can be really expensive too.
地毯.
地毯.
地 is the ground, and 毯 can be translated to blanket. So a blanket that you put on the ground would be a carpet.
A floor blanket.
A floor blanket.
I like that.
Yes, 地毯.
地毯.
So those are stuff, mostly edible stuff, introduced to China through the Silk Road. But a very important item or goods introduced from China through the Silk Road to the outside world would definitely be cha, tea.
Yes, of course. That one is the one that I think I knew about, but I didn't know about pomegranates or sesames or walnuts. Cha is tea.
Cha is tea. That is why besides Silk Road, there is also another road or another route or something, it's not just a road, it's a network or a trading path. It's called 茶马古道.
茶马古道.
古道.
古道.
Yes, 古, we know it's ancient.
Uh-huh.
道 is 道路, it's the road.
Uh-huh.
So 古道 would be an ancient road.
Okay.
And 茶 is tea, 马 is horse. So the route trading T for horse, or, the majority of the goods would be tea and horse. So that is the 茶马古道.
So then, therefore, the words must be similar through those regions all the way to China for tea and maybe horse too?
Yes, I would assume so. And that is the beauty of communication. It's not only tangible goods, intangible skills, but also culture, but also people's beliefs. I think along the Silk Road, people would share similar folklores and folk songs that they would chant while doing business on the Silk Road. And those part of the culture would stay at the area and continue to be evolved and to be transformed by local people, and would definitely also change the developing course of the local area.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in the Western part of the world, myself included, might not, we always hear about ancient tea ceremonies, tea culture, things like that. We hear about it, but I don't think anybody, maybe that's not fair to say. I didn't know how old it was. And so when I moved to Asia and I started to learn about, how old tea was, and it goes back to the Silk Road and trading, then those tea ceremonies and the importance of those tea ceremonies made a lot more sense.
For sure. And with a background, a shared culture and shared history like this, it's very easy for China and neighboring countries to further collaborate in this day and age.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense when you have the history in place that you can carry on with that relationship.
Maybe in the future, we can talk more about the fun cooperation projects and stories between China and Central Asian countries, as well as among China and any other countries that share this really beautiful history and cultural similarities.
I would enjoy that very much.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niuniu Lin with Steve here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also visit the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and a 5-star rating. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
Thank you. And we didn't get to my question I had for you today, but we'll just save it for the beginning or maybe the middle of next show.
We will.
No problem. I'm Steve, and thanks for having me. 谢谢. See you next time.
See ya.